Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review and overview of the MachineWise Sonora. So this has been in my collection a while. Normally I like to take my time to do a proper review. But before we get into it, please like the video, please like the Facebook page, and follow the Instagram. Alright, let's go ahead and get into some simple size comparisons. And we'll get into more details about the knife in general. Alright. First of all, let's just do some normal classics. The shaman, however you pronounce it, however you want to pronounce it. I don't care. There you go. So this is a top-down view. So it should be pretty darn accurate from your point of view. You should be able to tell which one is larger and the dimensions compared to others. Should make it easier. And obviously the 940. These are two things that most people have. And ones that people probably have if they're in this territory price range. We got the Shredder S&G. There you go. And then one I'm going to compare it to for different reasons, but the XM18 3.5-inch auto. And you may be wondering, how can an auto compare to a manual button lock? Well, you will see, because there's something that people have not been saying that is interesting about this button lock compared to other button locks. But other than the fact that this is US made, in-house, in Arizona, with a fantastic action, integral, by the way, one solid piece, other than this little guy right here, but that's so you can actually get the button lock inside there. Otherwise, it would be very difficult or next to impossible to do it. The back is pretty simple, straightforward, nice. Clip is really good too. I like it a lot. Simple construction. You can reverse it, which is great for a button lock. Very good for right and left hand carry, depending on who you are. So this one is number 375, which is quite a bit earlier on compared to the ones that are out now. So the ones that are out now are going to have some finer details to it than this one has. But even with that being said, this is still the best button lock I have ever handled for many reasons. Okay, first of all, the action. I mean, it's really hard to beat this. I mean, you do that all day long. And here's the kicker. This has, and when I mean no friction, I mean no friction at all. And one thing to look at is actually carry profile, because this is pretty darn good. You compare it to one that has a really good carry profile and always has been, always probably will be easy to compare to, is the 940. Both in that dimension and in this dimension. Like, the Sonora is really good overall. Okay. Next thing, let's look at the locking mechanism. Okay, so most button locks, if you look, you have like a little tang right in there. You see that groove? That's where the button lock right there sits. Okay? So the only thing really holding it in is this lock face, right? So it's not as durable as some knives. You get a crossbar lock, we all know this. It rests on that right there, here. Boom, rests right there. Really hard to disengage this unless the crossbar lock doesn't make full contact but eventually it will. As time passes, it will get stronger and stronger because the crossbar will get more and more engaged. Here's what's interesting. What do you not see right here? You don't see this, right? Okay. But what you do see is a little lip right there and a flat part. So what they did with this button lock to make it smoother, better action, and a better lock in general, is they made a in-between, because this acts similar to a crossbar lock by this bar here goes straight across the back of the tang here. It doesn't sit in a groove like this. It not quite as much contact as a bar lock because the whole bar goes across. But here's what's interesting. This is a good hybrid, I would say. Unless you made the button lock bigger, so then there's more contact. You could do that, but then that would widen this, and some people won't like that, and that'll be what it is. But I have yet to see someone kind of go into detail about this. It's very small, minute detail, is that this is acting more like a crossbar lock than an actual traditional button lock. It's kind of in between to get the nice easy access, a nice easy quick deployment disengagement of a button lock, but closer to the strength of a crossbar lock. Now obviously not the same strength, but closer. It will make this button lock stronger than other button locks. And so that notch that's in normal button locks is pretty standard, pretty normal. And that's why people think button locks are not as strong. I actually have a ProTech with this style of lock that fell off a roof multiple times and still works perfectly fine with zero blade play, zero issues at all. So, I mean, it depends on the quality of button lock. It can be just as strong as a liner lock and frame lock if done properly. But this, I would say, right here, because you can also just, swing it out if you really feel like doing that just for fun. Fidget factor there. But this is going to be a lot stronger than your average button lock because of how it crosses over the actual tang instead of into a notch like a traditional button lock. Now, this may be becoming more of a thing lately. I have yet to see it really all that often. But it's a great sign. It makes it more durable. It makes it easier to deploy. Makes it easier to disengage. It gives it a overall snappier feeling, smoother feeling. Ergonomics are really good, by the way. I use this quite often when tearing down boxes. And it does a great job, by the way. Takes care of them. You can probably see some light use, like tape residue and stuff like that on the edge. That is from me breaking down boxes the other day. I will clean it. And obviously people will look at this and be like, it doesn't look used. It's like, because I clean my stuff. I don't just let it sit and look disgusting. I don't like, because it's not good for it long term. You got to make sure it's clean. It'll last longer. It'll suit you better long term. But yeah, it is super thin behind the edge. And one thing I do like is that this tip is very durable, by the way. yes, this tapers slightly, so it's not as aggressive as it used to be, or like as thick as it used to be. But I mean, that's the one thing that I like, is they constantly making little adjustments, and I think that's what most companies should do. Slowly make adjustments until they can perfect a design. But this one right here, the thicker tip is great, so when you're puncturing something, you don't risk breaking the tip. But you also have the very thin slicing edge here that breaks down boxes and stuff like that with no problem. Clip is a good spot, not a hot spot. Really well done, where it's nice and rounded off, smooth, no really sharp corners. But yeah, the one thing that will always catch someone off guard is the price point of these guys. It's gonna be between $700 to, I believe right now, $850. They might be even slightly more depending on the pattern and the blade pattern that you get and all that. So it kind of depends. But I am gonna say, at the moment, until something else comes out, which I doubt anything will, that can top this, this is the best button lock you can get for the money. I mean, flat out. When it comes to action, smoothness, right here, how smooth this is, it's insane. Ergonomics, and it can choke up, really nice. With the clip, really nice clip, can be reversible. With the type of blade, how thin it is behind the edge, durable tip without having the risk breaking it, and more durable lock mechanism for a button lock than most is definitely a huge positive. And it being an integral and US made, in-house. I mean, it's really hard to deny this guy. One thing I like that they do is they hide the blade steel, but in a really nice spot. It's right here. Yeah, so you can't see it open. You can't see it closed. It's a clean design. All you got is the number at which you are at when you get yours. When you have this and people know about the Sonora, it's pretty recognizable. So, will I get another one? Probably. I probably will. But at the moment, this is the one I got, and I'm looking forward to everything that MachineWise is doing and what they plan to do in the future. But again, that's all I have. Not a ton, but I also want to make clear that, hey, if you don't have this on your list, you should get one. It is well worth it. It is definitely the best button lock out there at the moment in every facet. Fit and finish, action, ergonomics, all of it. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna actually probably put it, if I don't normally rate things, I don't do that. That was just a wing it kind of thing. I will probably put it a 9 out of 10 because, one, they can also improve it to make it a 10 out of 10. And there is always a possibility of a better one coming out later and down the road. Be surprised, but you never know. That's going to be it for this one. Please like the video. Please subscribe, follow the Instagram, and like the Facebook page. And I'll see you guys in the next one.